Hi everyone, welcome back to Jess Reads. If you're new here, I'm Jess, and this video is going to be seven books that I want to read for this spring. I figured that mid-March, it's not really mid-March. Well, yeah, it's the 13th, so it's mid-March. So I figured that mid-March would be like the crucial time for me to do this because it's not officially spring yet. However, I quite literally have a rainbow of books here to show you. I had posted an Instagram with these books, so if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you've hopefully seen it. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, you totally should. It's literally just Jessica Ivy Reads. Shameless self-promo, we love that. So I have 7 books here that I want to get through for the spring, or like, you know, spring, early summer, whatever I can get through. So I guess you could call this my like mid-March, April, May reads. I didn't really do a TBR for March just because I don't want to say I went through a slump. I went through a filming slump. I didn't go through a reading slump. So, you know, it happens, but I'm back hopefully for a good amount of time before my next slump, knock on wood. So yeah, why don't we just get started? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in like color order. So, because I kind of want to be creative with this and like call it like the Rainbow Spring Book TBR thing, but like it's not a tag video, so that's the thing. But it's just like a rainbow. It's literally like a rainbow TBR. I'll just call it my rainbow spring TBR. Yeah, that sounds good, right? Okay, so let's just get started. So the first book that I want to get through is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I did read Icebreaker. I did enjoy it very much. If I remember correctly, it was a 5-star read for me. I know Wildfire's been out for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it, and I really want to. But basically this follows Russ and Aurora, and they basically have a one-night stand, and then like they have a one-night stand, they never plan to see each other again, but then they meet again when they both get hired to work at a summer camp. And it seems like really, I mean, if Icebreaker was any consolation, or I don't know if that's the word, but like if Icebreaker has taught me anything, it's that Hannah Grace can write. So I'm excited for this one. Also, so the day I got this book, I literally fell asleep on it, and now it's like there's like a big line dent in it, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Alright, so the next book that I want to get through, the next book I want to read, the orange book, is On the Plus Side by Jenny L. Howe. This is a book that I was really, really excited for its release. I know, like I was so excited, and I haven't even picked it up yet. Because this came out, I want to say at least a few months. But yeah, no, this follows Everly, and she's a receptionist, and she gets nominated by somebody like secretly for a makeover show called On the Plus Side. And basically she starts like falling for the cameraman, and it's one of those like self-acceptance kind of books, which is awesome. Like, I mean, everyone can learn something from this book, I think, but I'm really excited about it. So, and it's the little blurb on top. It says, "What Not to Wear" and "Queer Eye meet all the feels in this sparkling romantic comedy in which the new guest on a popular plus-size makeover show has her style and her love life transformed." I mean, and also, Ali Hazelwood has a quote, and it says, "I'll read anything Jenny L. Howe writes." So, I mean, it's got to be good, right? If Ali Hazelwood says it's good, then it's good. I'm really excited to read this. It just looks so good. I mean, yeah. All right. So, next up we have, by one of my favorite authors, Miss Sophie Sullivan, we have Love Naturally. And again, this has been out for a while. I haven't gotten around to it. Surprise, surprise. And this follows Presley, and she is an accomplished concierge at an exclusive hotel in Great Falls, Michigan, and blah blah blah, not blah blah blah. I didn't mean it like that, but she gets dumped, and she wants to surprise her boyfriend, but he dumps her, and she wants to surprise him with a vacation, but he dumps her, and she goes on the trip by herself, and she runs into Beckett, and they literally, like, yeah, it's basically like opposites attract. That's like the summary, I guess you could say. Just opposites attract, you know? And the last part of it says, "A charming romance, Love Naturally is for anyone who ever stepped outside their comfort zone and found that all the best things can happen when you take a chance." I mean, that sounds nice. Yeah, and again, the top has a quote by Amy Lee, who wrote X's and O's and Set on You, and her newest book, The Catch, which is another one I really want to read. But her quote says, "Sophie Sullivan proves opposites really do attract in this delightfully escapist fish out of water romance." Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. If you don't know, Sophie Sullivan wrote one of my top 10. I was looking at my favorites shelf over there, by my bed. She wrote one of my top 10 favorite books of all time, which is A Guide to Being Just Friends. I highly, highly suggest, if you have not read Sophie Sullivan's books, start with that one, even though technically it's part of a series, but it's a standalone that's part of it's like the Jansen Brothers series, but they can be read alone. So I highly recommend starting with that one. It's my favorite. So, but I cannot wait for this too. I can't wait to dive into this one. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and next we have the highly, highly acclaimed, praised, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Is it Poston or Poston? I don't know. It's one of those. It's gotta be one of those. Don't come for me. I have heard nothing but great things about this. People have cried. And I read a little bit of it. Like I kind of skimmed it at like a Walmart once. But I don't know, I don't remember what I read, so it's like I'm going into this blind, basically, because I don't remember what I skimmed through. But I do know, basically, that it takes place, excuse me, okay, so it centers around Clementine, and how do I explain this? Yeah, so she moves so her aunt dies, and she moves into her aunt's apartment, Clementine, and there's a man in the kitchen, and he apparently exists 7 years in the past, right? Yeah, 7 years in the past, and she is 7 years in the future. That's why it's called the 7-year slip. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna read this in like the rainbow order. I think I'm just gonna read it like, you know, this might be like the one I start with, just because I've heard so much about it. But yeah. Alright, next we have Miss Tessa Bailey, Fangirl Down. And essentially this is about a bad boy professional athlete who falls for his biggest fan. And I'm also, you know, this was met with like mixed reactions, because you don't really think of because like he's supposed to be like a bad boy with like anger issue, like it's like a grumpy sunshine thing, so you don't really think of like a golfer as like a bad boy, like rebel kind of character. But so that was like met with mixed reactions, but I have high hopes for this. I mean, I like Tessa Bailey a lot, so, which by the way, I was supposed to meet Tessa Bailey next month, but today I found out that she's not gonna be at the event anymore, so that sucks, but I digress. But yeah, no, this looks adorable. I mean, I don't care if it's like bad boy golfer, oh my god, that's so lame. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's just like a thing. You like, don't knock it till you try it, right? Like, I'm excited. This is one of those where you know, don't judge a book by its subject, I guess. Not necessarily the cover, but the subject. I'm excited. I might actually start with this one, if we're being honest. Alright, now I almost said number blue. Now for the color blue, we have You with a View, how that rhymed, by Jessica Joyce. And this is another one of those books where people have like cried over it, apparently, from what I've heard. I don't know why I'm quoting that, but so this follows Noelle, and I'm just reading like the blurb at the top, because it literally, I'm not gonna read you the whole entire back, but two former high school enemies must reunite for a road trip inspired by their grandparents' broken engagement in this electric debut romance. So yeah, I don't know what to I mean, obviously, like, it's telling me what to expect, but like, I don't know, I'm just excited to get into this. Yeah. And finally, for purple, we have Till There Was You by Lindsay Hammeroff. I almost forgot her name for a second. My bad. And this, I did not do this. This is how it came from Amazon. So that, and oh, and this too, I didn't even notice that until now. Cool. But this, oh my god, when this first came out, like, the cover totally intrigued me, because like they're literally dancing and kissing on top of pancakes and shit. So, but I don't know why, but I totally forgot the name of it at first. So I was on Twitter like, does somebody remember the name of the pancake book? I was literally saying like, the pancake book, and everyone was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't know, that's the problem. But I finally found it, and I'm really excited about this. It looks adorable, and basically this follows Lexi, and she is an executive chef in a Michelin star restaurant, and she basically spends a steamy weekend with Jake Taylor, a dive bar musician, and he ends up writing a song about her blueberry pancake recipe, and it gets famous, and they want try to be friends, but it says things between them soon. I want to quote this because it's funny. Things between them soon reheat faster than a bowl of Lexi's matzo ball soup. And I don't know, it looks good. It looks intriguing. It's like pulling me in. So I can't wait to start this. This really, I don't normally like, why did this have to, I'm so mad. It's such a pretty book, and then it just, and I mean, I guess it like shows character, but like I didn't do it, so it's not like I'm giving the book character. It like, anyway. So those are the 7 rainbow books that I want to get through this spring. Let me know if you've read any of these yet. I totally just knocked over the pile. Not that it matters because you can't see it anyway. Yeah, let me know if you've read any or if you plan to read any of these. And as always, please leave video ideas down below because I, quite frankly, don't have any. At the moment, at least. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I hope you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, night, day, March, midnight, I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.